Section 156 of 15,000 Useful Phrases by Grenville Kleiser, read for LibriVox.org by Joan Walton, in Mountain View, California. A bewildering labyrinth of facts, a blank absence of interest or sympathy, a bloodless diplomatist, a breach of confidence, a brilliant and paradoxical talker, a burning sense of shame and horror, a century of disillusionment, a certain catholicity of taste, a cheap and coarse cynicism, a civilizing agency of conspicuous value, a cleanness and probity of life, a commendable restraint, a condescending and patronizing spirit, a confused and troublesome time, a conscientious anxiety to do the right thing, a conspicuous and crowning service, a constant source of surprise and delight, a contemptible species of mockery, a convenient makeshift, a copious torrent of pleasantry, a course of arrogant obstinacy, a crumb of consolation, a crystallized embodiment of the age, a cynical and selfish hedonist, a dangerous varnish of refinement, a dead theological dogma, a decorous and well-intentioned person, a deep and most impressive solemnity, a deep and strange suggestiveness, a deep authentic impression of disinterestedness, a dereliction of duty, a disaster of the first magnitude, a distorted and pessimistic view of life, a dogmatic and self-righteous spirit, a duel of brains, a dull collocation of words, a fastidious sense of fitness, a fatal and moral hollowness, a feeling of lofty remoteness, a feminine excess of inconsequence, a final and irrevocable settlement, a firmness tempered by the most scrupulous courtesy, a fitting interval for penitence, a flippant rejoinder, a flood of external impressions, a flourish of rhetoric, a fund of curious information, a furtive groping after knowledge, a gambler's desperate chance, a ghastly mixture of defiance and conceit, a glaring example of rapacity, a graceful nonentity, a great and many-sided personality, a great capacity for generous indignation, a great source of confusion, a gross piece of stupidity, a habit of riding a theory too hard, a habit of rigorous definition, a happy and compensating experience, a haughty self-assertion of equality, a hideous absurdity, a hideous orgy of massacre and outrage, a high pitch of eloquence, a homelike and festive aspect, a hopeless enigma, a hotbed of disturbance, a hushed rustle of applause testified to a widespread approbation, a keenly receptive and intensely sensitive temperament, a kind of fantastic patchwork, a kind of surly reluctance, a laudable stimulus, a law of retributive justice, a less revolutionary innovation, a life of studious contemplation, a limpidity and lucidity of style, a lingering tinge of admiration, a lively sense of what is dishonorable, a long accumulating store of discontent and unrest, a long tangle of unavoidable detail, a look threatening and peremptory, a many-sided and far-reaching enthusiasm, a marvelous sharpener of the faculties, a melancholy preponderance of mischief, a memory-haunting phrase, a mercenary marriage, a mere conjectural estimate, a microscopic care in the search of words, a misconception which is singularly prevalent, a mixture of malignancy and madness, a modicum of truth, a monstrous travesty, a mood of hard skepticism, a more than ordinary share of baseness and depravity, a most laudable zeal, a most repulsive and incomprehensible idiom, a most unseasonable piece of impertinence, a multitude of groundless alarms, a murderous tenacity about trifles, a mysterious and an intractable pestilence, a mysterious and inscrutable power, a narrow and superficial survey, a nature somewhat frivolous and irresolute, a needlessly offensive manner, a nimble interchange of uninteresting gossip, a noble and puissant nation, a novel and perplexing course, a numerous company, a painful and disconcerting deformity, a partial disenchantment, a passage of extraordinary daring, a patchwork of compromises, a permanent and habitual state of mind, a pernicious and growing tendency, a perversion of judgment, a phantom of the brain, a piece of grotesque stupidity, a pleasant flow of appropriate language. End of section 156. This recording is in the public domain. Recorded by Joan Walton in Mountain View, California.